All right, guys, welcome to another edition of the J Word, where you talk to real business people, real entrepreneurs doing real things. And today we got Mr. Dalton Baker, who is actually the owner of Scalewell Marketing, and it's a digital marketing agency. So I'm gonna let him take it away here because I don't want to ruin all his thunder, where he's going to pass off these great juicy nuggets about marketing, digital marketing, and other stuff that we can all benefit from. So take it away, man.
Absolutely. Like you were saying, my name's Dalton. I own Scalewell Marketing, which is online. It's an online digital marketing and automations business. Our whole goal with Scalewell Marketing is to help real estate agents or small businesses take advantage of using online platforms to really grow, because honestly, everybody's using these platforms, right? So if you own a business, and I call it the 10-year-old lawn mowing method, but if you own a business and your whole goal is to reach people, then you got to go to where the people are at, right? Because people buy from who they know and who they trust, right? And like Grant Cardone says, also where it's convenient.
True.
And so you gotta make that convenience for the customer. You gotta be able to build trust and your brand so they know who you are. I mean, I bet you anything right now, right where you're at an Airbnb right now, but I bet you there's probably 10 stores within 5 miles from you that you could totally benefit from one way or another. And You just have no idea who they are. So you're not there right now, right? You have no idea. So that's the power. Ultimately, that's what you're looking for when using online marketing. Like Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, whatever it is that you do, that's the goal, is to build your brand name, also build the trust, make it as convenient as possible for whenever the buyer is ready to buy, and just bring them through this process, right? So, I mentioned
just before we dive real deep into it, tell us a little bit more about you. I mean, how did you get involved in this? Walk us through that process of, not all the way where Dalton was born, but, give us your take of how you got to this point right now and have this Scalewell business up and running.
Right. So it started when I was about 10. My dad, he owns a heating and air conditioning company. He has for many, many, many years since I was super little. He's entrepreneur, grinds it out every day. He, in 2008, I was that spoiled kid who had if I wanted a dirt bike, I had a dirt bike. If I wanted a four-wheeler, I had a four-wheeler. He, for the first time ever, he had a business that was booming in the early 2000s, and it was doing really, really, really well, one of the top in his game. And then 2008 hit, and he had all of his eggs in one basket kind of thing. And and it all unfortunately fell apart. But my dad, being the guy he is, he decided to not stop, and he kept going and built it eventually back up. But one of the things that I noticed, two things. I noticed the love and passion that he has for being in the industry that he's in, right? I noticed that he does that. And when you're little, you record, you just watch, you watch what your parents do. Yeah. And then the other thing that I realized that his business, the only thing that was able to take it back up was marketing. The only thing that was able to get him from starting all over again to the point where he's at right now is effective marketing. And I was a part of that process to build his company back up.
Wow.
And it was, I always say success is simple, simplicity is hard. At first it was difficult because we were trying to overcomplicate everything. We had a picture in our head, what it's supposed to look like, what we thought it was supposed to look like, and that's what we were shooting for. But honestly, it came down to being as simple as making a couple ads, posting them on Facebook, and then bringing clients that way. Just really putting his brand in front of people so he can exist in the marketplace. But I saw that happen, and then I went into sales. Right after that, I went into the sales industry and everything, and started doing all that stuff. And I noticed that they're doing the same exact thing, because I dealt with leads. I would close leads all the time, and I noticed that that's what they do. That's how they bring in their leads, is through Google, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn. Those are the platforms they're using, so I could close these leads. And I was making good money, and so I know they were making really good money.
Right.
And so it just, and then it you look at where the future's going, everything's is online.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's being automated. And so, you know, I'm a young entrepreneur. I'm 23 years old. And I wanted to get in because I'm passionate about watching a company go from zero to the top, from
Right.
you know, bottom and scaling. I like that process.
Being in that building process. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, the process, as they call it, right? So, you know, starting from point A and going all the way to Z, that's what I want to do, but showing them how to do, you know, everything in between. And when it comes to marketing, and I think I just have a lot of passion there because it's just been my whole life.
Yeah, you got to see it. You got to see it.
Yeah, I got to see it. You know, and I became passionate about that.
So I would say, what would you say if you had to like give a definition of marketing? What would that be? Define that for us, and then tell us, you know, why it's important for every business to really, you know, put their eye on marketing.
Awareness. I would say it's all about the awareness. And the reason why is because if nobody knows who you are, how do you expect them to come and buy from you? And if your company isn't making sales, then it's not a business.
Mm-hmm.
It is not a business. If you are not making sales and growing and scaling, then it's not a business.
Mm-hmm.
And so you got to make sure that you're able to streamline your sales process as much as you can so it can be consistent.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not consistent, then it's a struggle.
Right.
And so this is a great way. Yeah.
There's a couple of questions being thrown around on Facebook. I don't know if they're just wanting to get more talk from people or they were really serious about what is more important, sales or marketing. What's your take on that?
Oh man. More important. Well, here's the thing. You need them both.
Yeah.
You need them both. I would say they go hand in hand. You need marketing. You need people to be aware, but you also need sales, because a big issue people run into is they'll get a marketing agency or they'll do it themselves, and then they have no idea how to close these type of leads.
Mm-hmm.
They have no idea how to nurture these type of leads, and so they lose them and they don't see the benefits of them. And so that made the marketing not really worth it. The only thing that still makes it worth it, even though you're not closing the leads, is the fact that these people still know who you are.
Exactly.
You're still building that awareness with them. And so that I would have to pick marketing then. If I had to pick one, I would pick marketing because you can still benefit. You know, if you don't close a lead, you don't benefit.
Exactly.
And so, right. And so I would say that, but honestly, both.
Yeah.
Do both. You obviously need both of them, but marketing and sales for sure.
Yeah. And I say the same thing because as a person just like yourself who's been in sales and marketing, you know, for the last 20 years, I know as if I'm actually working in a sales position for a client, that if their marketing sucks, it doesn't matter how good I am if I don't get to talk to anybody.
Right.
So when they say what comes first, the chicken or the egg, you know, what comes first, the sale or the marketing? Well, if your marketing is awesome, you don't need a salesman. Coca-Cola doesn't have salesmen.
Right.
Nike doesn't have salesmen.
Exactly.
ClickFunnels doesn't have salesmen, because if your marketing is good and your product is good, it will sell itself.
Very true. And you know, people, they go on to Facebook and they want to just sell right away. They want to jump on there and they want to just start closing deals like the same day they launch their ad or the next day. They think it's really instant, when actually online marketing is an investment.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got to follow the steps. You have to follow the steps of, you know, building that trust and awareness in your brand by offering something of value for free. I always say, you know, if you can offer something of value for free before you ever give them a direct offer, for a purchase, I would do that, you know, and then lead them into it. Right. You know, lead them, you know, and by doing that is by becoming a pro storyteller. A pro storyteller.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're able to bring them through the funnel, right?
Right.
That you had created. And but what I was saying is I would it's so hard to like say it in a way that makes sense.
Right.
Because
and that's the thing, everybody's not in the process that you are doing, but you know, you
right.
gotta kind of make them kind of understand in a little bit. If you can kind of like generalize it in a couple of steps of the process of taking a person from being a cold contact to becoming a customer, how would you kind of walk somebody through that? How would you say, this should happen first, this should happen second, this should happen third? And the reason being is because having these different Facebook groups and these different YouTube and Instagram channels, a lot of people come on and spam with all their information. Hey, here, I do this, buy my course. Hey, I do this, buy my product. Hey, I do this, buy this, or call me or DM me. All those people come into these different groups and stuff like that. What do you kind of walk them through that process to where they can kind of see from a marketer's perspective, the journey that a person really has to take in order to become a customer?
Yeah. 5 steps of awareness. I'm telling you, it all goes back to awareness and building trust. But there's 5 steps to it. So you got completely unaware. So that's the cold call. You're putting the ad in front of people. You're completely unaware. If you were to put it next to something on what it's probably like, it's like a door-to-door knocker showing up on your door in the middle of, out of nowhere. That's what you're looking at. And then you got the problem aware. Now the client, so now that you've built the awareness, now they know who you are. Okay. Now you have to make them realize their problem. So you give them the problem. It's problem aware. Once the client knows who you are, and now they know the problems that they have, solution aware. And you got to find a solution for their problem, right? And then give them the solution to the problem. This is all building value. This is building trust. This is building credibility. And you're going to bring them through these steps. And then once they're aware of the solution and how to solve the problem, then you have product awareness. Then you pitch your product. You pitch how it's going to solve the problem. You pitch how, how they can save money by doing it today, kind of thing.
Right.
You bring them through that whole process, but then it's product aware. And then the last one is most aware. And that is where they are completely aware of who you are. They have the trust. They know who your brand is. And they've probably bought a product or so, and you have them in a follow-up sequence to nurture that client for future deals if it's a continuous selling product. Or anything like that. But the last one would be the most aware, which is they know everything on who you are. They are a full-blown client. So the 5 steps of awareness.
That's awesome. And see, I can't wait to get that information out to these people, and I'd love to see you put that onto a post to where they can kind of get that idea in their head that you can't start pitching if the people don't even know who you are.
Exactly.
That becomes that spam, and so that was an awesome nugget right there. So for you, another question that I like to ask is, how do you differ your program, your product, your service? How do you differ in the marketplace? How do you make yourself stand out? Why should somebody come to Scalewell?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, a lot of, and you made a post about this the other day, there's a lot of digital marketing agencies starting up. Yeah, there's a ton. And the reason why is because the people who sell courses, they're pitching this unicorn land for marketers. And then eventually they jump in and realize that that's not real. It's not a quick turnaround. You don't just get rich in 2 months in this industry. And 95% of these businesses fail because it's difficult. Marketing is something that's always changing. You have to stay on top of it. And so I would say what's different with mine is a lot of these marketers, what they'll do is they'll bring a client on. They're only expecting the first month. They only care about the first month because they're looking to short-term and instant gratification. Right. Because a lot of these guys are getting in and they're new to entrepreneurship or business or whatever it may be. And they have no focus on the client. They have no focus on actually providing results. They have no idea if they even can provide results. That's the other thing. And with my agency, we're experts. We know exactly what we're doing. I only bring people in. I have 2 other partners who I brought in when I first started, who have worked with Fortune 500 companies in marketing and have done this in the past. We have professionals at building funnels. And so you just focused on quality. We were focused on quality, and we're super serious about the split testing because that's what let us know what works and doesn't work for that individual client, because everyone's a little bit different when it comes to marketing their product the way that they want it to be marketed, right? So I would honestly say is our whole focus is on the client, where a lot of these digital marketing agencies out there, their focus is filling their pocket.
So now when you say you focus on the client, how does that person feel that? How does that person really know that you are focused on them?
Yeah. Well, just by knowing my information really well and understanding and being able to teach them, one, how to follow up with these clients. Two, we also teach them how to close these clients. A lot of marketing agencies don't do that. So like when these leads come in, we're showing them exactly like what they need to do on their end, where a lot of these agencies will just throw them the leads and say, good luck. Like right. That's one thing. We understand that if our clients aren't closing these leads, then they're not happy. Right. And so it's just as important for my client to close their leads and see success as it is for me to provide however many leads that they're expecting, right? So we're really focused on that and that's actually an area that you'll notice, and I'm sure you already know if you've ever been with a marketing agency before, that they're not really focused on. They don't care about that end because they're just wanting you to pay them every single month or just that one time, that big, lump sum of cash or whatever, just to get it. And then they're good to move on. Where with me, I want lifetime relationships. I want long-term. Right. And I really, again, my whole point of doing this is taking a company from the beginning, from A to Z, taking them through the whole process. And I want to see that makes me more happy than anything else, is being a part of the growth. So
that's very, very, very unique from a marketing agency. And I know 100% where that comes from is because you are also in the sales side. And that's what makes the huge difference in companies like ours. Same thing with Boss Consulting, where we take you from the creation all the way to the implementation, not just stop at acquisition. We want the whole thing to happen because we have actually been involved in that sales part, and we know that is the actual key to long-term growth. It's not just generating 1,000 leads, but it's also closing those deals. And when you can have those customers close those deals, now they see the results and the completion of working with a company like yours.
Right, exactly. You got to bring them through the whole thing, and you have to hold their hand until they get it. That's the thing, is like you can't expect everybody to understand who's never done this kind of thing before. You can't just expect them how to understand how to close leads. And I probably only know that, like you were saying, because I've been in sales and I understand how all that works. A lot of these marketers have no idea how sales works, which blows my mind that they're even a marketer and they have no idea how sales works.
Yeah. But it goes the other way. It goes the other way too. See, because I train salesmen also. But you'll be amazed that 99% of the salesmen who are claiming to be professional salesmen out there have no idea about the marketing side. So what I do is I teach them both. We teach you how to do the sales, but we also teach you the marketing, because you become so much more valuable to those clients knowing the marketing side, to where now you can come in as a salesman and say, hey, there's a hole in your marketing. Fix this hole and you'll have a complete business. And it goes both ways, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, I know. And even with sales individuals, with salespeople, when I used to be a trainer for sales, I used to go to Colorado and all around Texas, and I would train people how to be successful in sales, mainly door to door. I know, super annoying, but basically we did that. And I would always tell my guys, I would always say, hey, don't sell. Whatever you do, stop selling. And I do the same thing with marketing. I always was focused on building a relationship, making them laugh, making them feel some sort of emotion that built that connection before I ever pitched anything. Right. And it's a super simple concept, but it goes back to marketing. I do the same exact thing with marketing, is I build that trust and awareness within who I am and what I have, and then I pitch. So, the 5 steps of awareness that I was just telling you, I did the same thing on the doors. It just looked a little differently, but same concept. But in sales, so it's
you're kind of holding back a little information about yourself here. I want people to really know who you are. Talk to them about that sales side just a bit, so they can actually understand a little bit more of where you're coming from and why you are doing some of the things that you do in the way that you do it.
Okay. So I guess with everything, I'm an actor as well, but I started in sales 5 years ago, actually. I started in sales 5 years ago. I decided to join some door-to-door company. I was working at some call center at the time, and my manager I heard him talking about how we could make 30 grand in the summertime and all this fun, fancy stuff, right? And so I decided to find the paper. I called the number on the paper. I ended up meeting up with the CEO at Culver's. And we sat down and talked. He's he's like, have you ever done something like this before? And I was like, nope. And he's like, are you in sales? I was like, nope. And he's like, are you ready for this? And I was like, yep.
Yeah.
And I told my family, and they're like, you're not just going to go to Texas, because I'm in Salt Lake City, Utah. And they're like, you're just not going to go to Texas with some company you don't know, with some person who you don't know, you've never been in sales. It's a scam. And I was like, you know what? If there's ever a time to fail, it's now. I'm young. Why not? And if anything, if the company's not real, I'm in Texas, whatever. So I went to Texas, ended up everything being legit. I ended up outselling everybody my first year on the doors. I became within their whole company, it blew my mind. Really, the only thing I did was work every day. That was the big secret. Everybody else did it. Yeah, everybody else couldn't get that down for some reason. But the CEO would fly out to see what I'm doing. I'm like, all I'm doing is knocking doors. I'm telling you guys aren't knocking doors. But anyways, after my first year, became a corporate trainer for them. Flew around, trained people how to, succeed in sales and everything like that. And and then I branched from there into marketing, because I had just learned so much, and I was in sales full time for 4 years before I decided to branch away. Well, I booked a TV show and then branched away. So it was, I don't know if there's a TV show called Yellowstone. I don't know if you guys know who Kevin Costner is.
Of course, man. Come on now.
Yeah. So I play young Jamie, who's the son, Kevin Costner's son. I play him in the flashbacks. So the flashbacks are what makes their story makes sense, because it's so complex. And so I've had, a lot of really awesome opportunities in acting. I keep finding myself picking, some of the hardest industries to be successful in, and and then I run at them, and I'm still trying to find out why I do that. But yeah, so that's a little bit more of my story. I just awesome. Love the process. I just love the process.
I see so much similarity in us, because same thing, starting in sales, being in the call center, went from that to door, doing different things. I didn't go acting, but I did music. So I did do a lot of different music. And I could tell you why you have that inkling in you, because I've had it for the last 25 years. Everything that you do, you want to do it to the top, and then you move to do something different, because you can. And it's the same thing with myself. That's why like I said, I feel it's a kindred spirit here, is that it's just a thing about us, that people like ourselves, that when you have that ability to climb very fast and very hard and succeed and then move. Me, myself, I'm a teacher by nature. So when I accomplish one of those goals, like running, millions of dollars worth of real estate, or closing millions of dollars of deals, being one of the top Cutco salesmen, or every time you do that next thing, for me, it adds to my ability to help someone else do the same thing.
Right.
For you, as I said, you're on your journey now, and I just want to make sure you understand that is a pursuit that's going to haunt you for the whole life. People are going to say, why don't you just stick with this if it's doing great? Well, yeah, it's doing great, but let me go see what else great I can do.
Right, exactly. And I love to create.
Yes, creation. I got to talk about that too. That's going to be a good topic. Maybe we can get back on and talk about the difference between a worker, the manager, and then the entrepreneur, the creator part. That's what I say about them. So that's really cool. So, Dalton, man, I really loved having this time with you. How can people get a hold of you, besides the big banner ads that I put up out there for you? How can people get a hold of you very easily? So if they want to really delve into possibly getting some marketing for their business, how can they get a hold of you?
Right. It's super, super simple. Go to the search bar on Facebook and type in Scale Well Marketing. We'll be the first ones to pop up, I promise. Click there, and then you can message us. And, all of our contact information is there. That's the best place to find us, or you can call my number, which is also on the Facebook page. You can also visit our website at scalewellmarketing.com. Almost forgot my website, but scalewellmarketing.com. Check us out there. You can submit, and we schedule a time, and we can reach out to you at that point as well. Or just shoot me a message in Messenger. Super simple. My name's Dalton. You can look up my personal account as well, Dalton Baker. So social media is the best way, because that's what I do.
Awesome, man. Awesome. You got to be there. Been a great time talking to you, Dalton. I look forward to continuing working with you because we are partners. And
Yes, we are.
we're going to keep this going and keep passing valuable information to the listeners about marketing. Next time I have you on, I know you'll have some more juicy nuggets for us. So that's it for J Word for today. Our special guest, Mr. Dalton Baker. We had an awesome time.
Thank you guys
with some
so
great
much.
marketing tips. And till the next one, remember, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense.
None at all.